Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day of 100 Days of Code with me, your host, Lilly Code. Today is day 49. So, I just want to start off this video by saying thank you so much to everybody that has subscribed. Got a new subscriber yesterday, Carlos, and not that the numbers make any difference. I'm doing this to put this content out. I just want to segue into a point to say, guys, have a bit of faith in yourselves, okay? And if there's something that you want to do, just do it. And even 10 minutes, whatever, just make that first initial move, because irrespective of how many subscribers I have, like I think it's about 50 or 60 or 70, I don't know, I don't even know, but it's a small amount on the grand scheme of things. That's irrelevant. The point is that already since I've started this, I feel change is happening in my life. Do you know when you make positive steps towards something that you've wanted to do, I just think it's a knock-on effect. So, if there's something that you want to do, whether it be maybe you're stuck in your room and you can't get out of your room and you don't have the motivation to go for a walk today, get up and stick your head out the window. Okay, stick your head out of the window, and you've done that then. That's all you need to do today. Maybe tomorrow you might stand outside your door and look at the trees and the birds. Okay, guys, if you start looking at the trees and the birds, it makes me really, really, really happy. So all I'm saying is have a bit of faith in yourself. It took me getting to a stage where I had to just do it. Just do it and not overthink. Oh, will people think I'm this? Will they like me? Will they? I don't care. I'm here hoping to give people a bit of learning, and I know by being my genuine self, that's a value to the world. By just being you, whoever you is, you don't have to be like me, all ha 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 ha, laughing and joking. If your personality is to sit there calm, collected, not say a word, if you're the type of person that sits there and cries all day or gets angry, just bring yourself. You can only bring yourself. Maybe not the angry, because, find the calm inside. No, you don't need to be putting that on everybody else. That's stick your head out the window a few more times. I'm just trying to say that I feel the positive benefits in my life from doing one small thing for myself. Actually, what I thought was such a huge thing. I'd been putting it off for a very long time, and now I'm doing it and I'm getting along, and I seen a little subscriber today. I'm just thinking, I'm just happy with myself and feeling good about myself, and it's just a nice ring around your life when you're doing something for yourself, whether that be going for a walk, waking up 5 minutes early so you can just sit in your bed for a moment rather than jumping up and getting out and starting the day in a hurry. Whatever that thing is to you, it doesn't have to be something as elaborate as a YouTube channel. Actually, quite the opposite. Just whatever the small thing is that you want to do for yourself, because we all know what the things are that we want to do for ourselves and that we should be making time for, and that realistically we need to make a priority, because we know it's going to contribute to our health and to our just general happiness. So you can do it. I know you can do it. I have faith in you. Do something small today, whether it even be go downstairs and try and make a cup of tea, and just be there with yourself when you make a cup of tea. Don't let your mind go off and think about all the things that you have to do, over the coming day, and oh crap, I forgot to send that email back in work, or whatever it may be. Those things will come, and you'll do everything in time. So sit there and just sit and think, I'm going to make a cup of tea. Let that be your thought. I'm going to make a cup of tea, and have your cup and sit down. Maybe go outside for your cup of tea if you can. Stick your head out the window for the cup of tea, or if you have a back garden, or a front garden or something, or if there's somewhere you can go outside and have your cup of tea, and just enjoy the surroundings for a moment. So that's all I want to say, is that take pleasure in the small things that you do in life, that you accomplish. Even getting up 5 minutes early. Okay, that's enough out of me. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. I just want to let you know, all of you, that I have faith in every single one of you, and that small things make big differences in your life. So that's all. I'm not telling you what to do, okay? I just want to give you encouragement, and you know, we're all loved. That's the bottom line. We are all loved. So love yourself and be kind to yourself. And if not, I love you anyway. So there you go. And have a great day. And let's get started on day 49, okay? So this is sort of my jam, okay? So this is my jam. This is who I am. So I feel it's important to communicate that. I don't want to lecture anybody. I just want to give you a few words of encouragement while we learn a bit of code. Okay? Have a natter, have a chat, learn some code. That's what I'm gonna do on this channel. So well, then I have the tutorial videos, and they're more to the point. And here I go off nattering again. So look, some people may like me, some people may not like me, but this is what I am bringing to the table. This is me being my genuine self. So if you're doing that, you can't go wrong. Some people will like you, other people won't, but you're being true to yourself. So who cares if I natter? You know, I'm happy nattering. That's the end of it. Okay, love you all. Okay, let's start coding. So where we left off yesterday was right here. So we were trying to, yes, rename our namespace. And do you know what I decided to do? I decided to go back. So halfway through yesterday, I said, oh, actually, I do not need this Mongo part of the project. I didn't need the Mongo bit because we're not using Mongo in work, and I'm learning this now for work. But then when I went ahead and tried to follow along with renaming namespaces and just skipped the Mongo part, I couldn't run one or two commands. Now maybe in the next section I can run commands. Let's go to the next one, because I was literally told by someone in work I do not need Mongo. So I'll just go back. Do you know, I want to learn it. It doesn't matter whether I need Mongo or not. It's just, Mongo is just another database. You can use many different databases. Mongo is a specific one. But, you know, if I can't continue, I want to do it. And I want to do it anyway because it's all learning. So actually I'm going to go back to the Mongo section. So I apologise for skipping about. We only did namespaces after this and I couldn't follow along. I was just listening, which is a bit boring. So back to Mongo. Cool. Complete demo project. Let's go. No more waffle at me for a little while. Let's go. Okay.
In this video, we're going to deploy two applications, MongoDB and Mongo Express. And I chose these two because it demonstrates really well a typical simple setup of a web application and its database to any similar setup you have. So let's see how we're going to do this. So first we will create a MongoDB pod. And in order to talk to that pod, we are going to need a service. And we're going to create an internal service, which basically means that no external requests are allowed to the pod. Only components inside the same cluster can talk to it. And that's what we want. Then we're going to create a Mongo Express deployment. One, we're going to need a database URL of MongoDB so that Mongo Express can connect to it. And the second one is credentials, so username and password of the database so that it can authenticate. So the way we can pass this information to Mongo Express deployment is through its deployment configuration file through environmental variables, because that's how the application is configured. So we're going to create a config map that contains database URL, and we're going to create a secret that contains the credentials. And we're going to reference both inside of that deployment file. So once we have that set up, we're going to need Mongo Express to be accessible through a browser. In order to do that, we're going to create an external service that will allow external requests to talk to the pod. So the URL will be HTTP, IP address of the node, and the service port. So with this setup, the request flow will now look like this. So the request comes from the browser, and it goes to the external service of the Mongo Express, which will then forward it to the Mongo Express pod. The pod will then connect to internal service of MongoDB. That's basically the database URL here. And it will forward it then to MongoDB pod, where it will authenticate the request using the credentials. So now let's go and create this whole setup using Kubernetes configuration files. Let's dive right into it and create the whole setup. So first of all, I have a Minikube cluster running. If I do kubectl get all, which basically gets me all the components that are inside the cluster, I only have a default Kubernetes service. So my cluster is empty and I'm starting from scratch. So the first thing that I said we're gonna do is create a MongoDB deployment. I usually create it in an editor. So I'm gonna go to Visual Studio Code and paste a prepared deployment file there for MongoDB. And this is how it's gonna look like.
Okay, cool. So she's after pasting a deployment file in there. Oh, super de duper. Look at this. Yes. So yesterday, I thought that we deleted this file because we went through all the steps and then she deleted the file at the end. Maybe she just deleted it from like a running... I don't know. I thought we definitely deleted this file with the terminal. We definitely ran a delete command, but anyway, it's not gone, so that's great because, you know, don't need to type all this stuff out again. So I'll create a new folder. Let's create a new folder starting off. So I'll go in here, Kubernetes, new, and we will call this MongoDB, Mongo Kubernetes, Nana, with Nana, the lady herself. So let's go in here, and now in here I can create that folder. So I will open this with code, this particular folder, and yes, I trust, and yeah, guys, I could go on all day, you know, just trust in yourself. Try not to overthink things too much. I've really been working on overthinking this year, and it's working. It's blooming working, you know. Sometimes I used to ruminate, just think about things, and it just takes practice. I'm not going to say I don't do it, but my, am I way better. I'm way better. I don't stay on it as long anymore, you know, by any means. And I used to fight it with trying to be, change that bad thought into a positive one. And then you're all panicking, you know. You might think, sometimes you think random, weird thoughts, like, I'd be like, oh my God, that bird's gonna die, you know. And then I'd be like, oh my God, no, the bird will live forever. Don't think like that. So you're putting yourself into a panic-stricken state rather than trying to flip it around into a positive thing. Just stop and focus on your breathing for a moment. Center yourself and just sit there for a moment. You know, just allow the weird, we all get strange, weird, negative. We're humans, do you know, our brains are created for thinking. So you can't get angry or scolded for doing the thing that it was made to do. And you're picking up things all day long, all the time. You see things on TV, you know, you might see this, see that. And then you're thinking, oh my God, that guy died in the Wild West. Or, you know, that terrible thing happened over there. And so it's natural. It's in your brain, it's in your psyche, it's in your subconscious. And, you know, you can't... That's, your brain is meant to spin up thoughts for you. That's its job. It's not doing anything incorrectly by doing this thing. So instead, just sit there and let it neutralize for a moment. Just focus on something else. Bring yourself back to where you are now. Focus on your breathing, to the present moment. I don't want to sound all woo woo wah wah, but this has worked for me, you know. And as a result of not overthinking things, I managed to just get in and start the channel. I said, do you know what? No thinking about it anymore. Actually, I took away all thinking. I said, I'm not thinking about this anymore. I got the few little bits of equipment I needed and I just started recording. I just started doing this 100 days of code, throwing them up. Do you know what I mean? I started editing them in the beginning. I was up till midnight. I said, right, take away the thinking, record them up. So people are going to be like, this episode has nothing got to do with code because it ain't getting edited. Just be yourself, do you know what I mean? If people like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. And by being your genuine self, do you know, at least you're not going to be arguing with yourself. There's no battles with yourself because you've been yourself. And then when you learn to reduce the thinking as well, the overthinking, Then say if you just be yourself and you're like, oh, should I have laughed like that? Should I have said that joke, you know? Then soon enough you're like, it was just a joke. Nobody took offense. Or else you just breathe, you just sit there and go, oh yeah, well, I said the joke, you know, the time has passed. I can't actually change the fact that I said that joke. So, do you know, just like that joke there, me laughing, I'm not saying you try and be aware of your surroundings and stuff as well, but that all comes with life lessons and practice and time on this earth. So don't sweat it. Don't sweat any of it. Do you know, we all won't be here in 100 years. Nobody cares as well. You know, nobody cares. That's something else I've realised. People don't care. Like, nobody is concerned about what you're doing. They just aren't. So everybody has their own stuff going on. Everybody is busy. They have their own lives. Either they take to you or they don't. So it's not your concern. You just be yourself, be kind, try and live from the heart. Do you know what I mean? Like, drop down, do. You know when something is wrong. You know when something is right. You know when you've said something wrong or right. You know, so use your judgment in that and follow that always, because that won't steer you wrong. It just won't steer you wrong, I don't think. You know when you're doing something right and you know when you're doing something wrong. So therefore you can do the right thing. Have less of any thoughts because, you know, you're following what you feel is the right thing to do. So should we just get back to the code? Okay, but I just want to be honest with you guys and say, have faith in yourself. Love yourself. If you don't do it, who else is going to do it? I'm here doing it. I'm telling you I'm going to love you. But you must do it for yourself, guys. You really must. That's when magic starts happening, because, do you know, if you're going to love yourself and learn how to forgive yourself and live with yourself, well, there's nothing you can't do. You know, and you learn every day, you grow every day, you make less and less mistakes. Well, I hope that's true. I feel like that's true. But that's not to say when I'm 50, you know, I won't make a big mistake and be like, I should have learned the lesson, and start like hating on myself. But that's part of this whole thing, you know. We have to just learn and grow. Learn and grow. We're here to learn and grow. So, I love you guys. Okay. Let's go. So this is Mongo Kuberenetes with Nana, and we are creating our configuration file. So this is going to be yes, Nginx deployment. So this is going to be Mongo deployment, I presume. So we will say file save as Mongo. Please let me know in the comments down below if I should just get on with the coding. Although, then I'm not, well, still, I'm here trying to provide a service. That's the bottom line. I can't just be like, oh, well, I want to do it my way. No, you must consider what people want, you know. I'm here trying to provide a service, and that is learning. So if all the chitter chat is too much, please do let me know. Or whatever it is you'd like to see on my channel, I'm here to accommodate. Leave a comment, send me an email. Do you know what I mean? Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Love that people have been actually watching me. It's phenomenal. It's great. Love it. Love it. Loads of support. Get out there and do the things you want to do, guys. 5 minutes. So
I have deployment kind, and I have some metadata. I'm just going to call it MongoDB deployment. Labels and selectors. In the previous video, I already explained the syntax of Kubernetes YAML configuration file. So if you want to know what all these attributes mean, then you can check out that video. And here in the template, I have a definition or blueprint for pods that this deployment is going to create. And I'm just going to go with one replica. So the container is going to be called MongoDB, and this is the image that I'm going to take. So let's actually go and check out the image configuration for MongoDB. So Mongo, and I see this image here. Let's open this. And basically what I'm looking for is how to use that container, meaning what ports it's going to open and what external configuration it's going to take.
Okay, guys, so I just had another brainwave that I'd like to share with you before I move on. It's only 20 minutes into the video and all I've done is chat away, but like, the reason why I think it's important and it's safe to be genuinely yourself and just to be you is because there's so many people in this world, right? There's so many different people, different types of people, different people that like all different things. We're all human beings. There's one race, the human race. Just put that out there anyway. It's a side note, but we're all the same. We're all just here trying to make our way, but we're all so different as well. You know, we all have our own little flares and the own things that we enjoy and we like. So if you like the most weirdest thing, say if you love, armadillos in tiny hats, and that's your passion. You love armadillos wearing little woolen hats or, crafted hats or something. I just tried to pick something really random. Guarantee if you start following the thing you love, or I'm not saying find your passion. I find that's really hard to do. You do things that you enjoy, and just even 5 minutes for time for yourself to have a bit of whatever it is that you enjoy. But my point is that there's so many different people in this world that enjoy all different things that, there's going to be someone out there that enjoys what you bring to the table. There is somebody out there for everybody, okay? Like, there's somebody out there for everybody, like whether it be a friendship, a love interest, whatever. There's somebody out there for you. Like, I guarantee you, there's so many people in this world. And then the second thing is that, whatever it is you're interested in, somebody else is going to be interested in it. And even if it's never even been invented, right? And you start making little armadillos, like little armadillo teddy bears with little woolen hats on them, somebody else is going to be like, this is my favourite thing. I love armadillos with tiny hats. And they just didn't know it yet because they never seen it. Bet you if I googled it now, we'd probably find armadillos with woolen hats on them, and it's already a thing. So there's just so many people out there. Be yourself. I was thinking, and then you have to quieten the mind. I was thinking, am I waffling too much? And then I thought, I want to share this truth with people. I want to share this with people. Maybe there's some of you out there haven't heard it in a while, so it's important for me to communicate this message. Very important, because I want to let everybody know that you are loved. Do you know, you are. Go outside and just look at the sky, and I feel love somewhere, I do. So lie on the friggin' ground for 5 minutes. Just lie there. Look at the sky, and it's all practice, It's all practice. So there was a time where I used to think too much, I'll have to send that email. As I was telling you, couldn't make a cup of tea in peace because I was thinking about an email. And with practice makes perfect. There's somebody out there for everybody. Be yourself, because there's enough people here on this earth that being yourself is enough. And actually you will connect with your tribe if you just be yourself and love yourself. I love you. All the above. Okay, back to coding. But yeah, just some encouragement as to why you should just be yourself. There's enough of us here. There is enough of us here, and actually probably being yourself, you'll find out that there's actually loads of people like you. So just be yourself, and you'll find your tribe. So let's go. And anyway, let's go.
Meaning what ports it's gonna open and what external configuration it's gonna take. So a default port of MongoDB container is 27,017. So I'm gonna use that. And we are gonna use variables, environmental variables, the root username and root password. So basically I can, on the container startup, define the admin username and password. So let's go ahead and configure all of that inside the configuration file. So here below the image of MongoDB, so we're just gonna leave the name of the image and it's gonna pull the latest one, and that's what we want. So here I'm gonna specify what port I want to expose.
Okay, so just going to try and get a bit organized here so you can see everything, because all of this is importante. Sí. I really hope I don't offend any Spanish people. I just love your language so much, because I'm always making up half Spanish, haven't got a clue what I'm saying, but what a beautiful language. Muy bonito, sí? Muy bonito. So let's have a look at this. So that's looking all right. What else do I need? Excuse me, sorry. What else do I need here? my terminal, but we won't worry about that. Oh yeah, Mongo, I want to go and find that same documentation that she is looking at. So Mongo documentales, like what is documentation in Spanish? Because there's one of the words that I feel like I'm just making it up. Maybe I don't know, to be honest. So where was she? Let's just follow along for a moment and get this set up. So they're very different. So okay.
So ports, that's the attribute name. And
okay, so I'm just going to check how this is doing. So we have our apps version 1 deployment, metadata, MongoDB deployment. Of course, this was a different one we were doing. Excuse me. MongoDB for you and me, baby. So MongoDB deployment labels, MongoDB spec replicas. Let's leave it at 2. That's just how many pods you want to create. So that's so handy actually, right? So as soon as you see replicas and the number, I just know that's how many replicated pods you need. So now it's just occurred to me that this spec above replicas, this is all referring to the pods. So there you go. The replicas, when it starts with replicas 2 in this file, this is where it's talking about pods, because you tell it how many pods that you want. So then this specification is for the pods. Must be. And I think even this, all of this. So this could be the name of your pod in here, the template. Then we have, and this is something else. This is where it's communicating with the service, I think. But, you know, we did watch the explanation of this yesterday. It's brand new to me. So we will let Nana explain it rather than me giving you incorrect information. And that was definitely a made up name as well. So, or maybe I remember more than I think I did. So from Espanol. Anyway.
And container port. And that's the standard port, so I'm going to leave it. And below that, I'm
2707, yeah. So this is communicating out to the MongoDB backend. 27017. This is so exciting, actually. So this should be Mongo. Love this, like, you know. Stepping through this is just great. The amount of times I've tried to set up a fully functioning backend on my website and like failed every single time until I finally managed to get a contentful backend in working. Everything was going great. Wrote a few articles. Then had a job interview about contentful and was like, I don't know, but I still got the job and it's gone fantastically. So have faith in yourself. Don't worry, I didn't know the answer. I got the job. So let's continue.
I'm gonna specify those 2 environmental variables. So one
Sorry guys.
is called, let's see what it's called. It's Mongo initdb root username. And here is gonna be a value. So we're gonna actually leave it blank for now. And the other one is called init root password. And we're gonna leave that blank as well, just value. And once we have the values here, we're gonna have a complete deployment for MongoDB. This is basically all we need.
Cool, super. Like, see how simple this is, you know? Like, I don't have MongoDB at the moment on my computer or anything, so if this is just gonna like let me use Mongo and this is what you need, this is pretty sweet. Root username, which I think it is, like that's sort of the point of this, but so exciting, really. So value, then we've got a name. Oh, need a space. The YAML files are very particular in their indentation, so how we have this laid out is extremely important. It will break if we don't have it laid out properly, which I can actually show you. I'll break it and show you because I didn't know this yesterday. Presumed it must be the case, then Nana said it, and yeah, that's about it. So value, okay.
Now, note that this is a configuration file that is going to be checked into a repository. So usually you wouldn't write admin username and password inside the.
They're in your security file, if I'm not mistaken. We have a configuration file and a security file. We'll find out now, but that's what I remember.
Configuration file. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a secret from where we will reference the values. So meaning that the secret is going to live in Kubernetes and nobody will have access to it in a Git repository. So we're going to save this incomplete deployment file, first of all. So let's call it Mongo deployment, or let's just call it Mongo YAML and save it here so that we get the syntax highlight. And now, before we apply this configuration, we're going to create the secret where the root username and password will live. So let's create a new file. And I'm going to paste in the configuration of a secret, which is actually pretty simple. So we have a kind secret. Then we have a metadata, which again is just simply the name.
Okay, very good, guys. It was a secret. It's a secret. It's a secret. So this file should remain a secret. It contains your passwords and stuff like that. So it's the secret file. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it up there if you're wondering what I'm doing. Repetition aids memory. So secret. It's a secret. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So now we can actually create this secret file. So I will open, I don't want to open, I want to create. So we go to new file. Yep. New file. It's been a while. Hasn't really, it was a few minutes. What a gimmick. So API version. And this is going to be v1. This is going to be secret when we save it. Kind. Secret. Shh. Then we have metadata. I don't know why I say it like that. Name. Just when you're typing, like the spelling. Name, MongoDB. Oh, syntax and secret. Then we have type. We need to come back a level. Yes. Well, let's not go back a level and just see what this error is going to be like. I think it's going to say cannot find type. But I just wonder in the secret file how it will behave if we have a spelling error. So, or a indentation error. It's not even a spelling error. It's just simply at the wrong level. Because you can see here type is in at the base level, the root of this file. And then these are all indented one. So this will cause problems. So then we have data, type and data. Data is going to be username. Username and password. Like even with the singing, that's just me being me. Maybe some people don't like it. Maybe some people love it.
We're going to call it MongoDB. Secret. The
it.
type OPEC is actually a default type, which is the most basic key value secret type. Other types, for example, include TLS certificates. So you can create a secret specifically with the TLS certificate type and a couple of more types. But mostly you're going to use the default one. And these are the actual contents. So you have the data and here you have key value pairs, which of course are the names you come up with. So we're going to specify username, or we can actually call it Mongo root username. And we're going to call it Mongo root password. And here's the thing. The values in these key value pairs are not plain text. So when we are creating a secret, the value must be base 64 encoded. So the way you can do that, the simplest way is go to your terminal. So here I'm going to say echo -n. Very important.
This is going to be security file, secret, secret, Mongo secret.yaml. Just secret. Mongo secret.yaml. .yaml. This is my first introduction to a YAML file, would you believe? I haven't really seen, probably heard of them, but feels new, the old YAML. New piece of information. Okay, jeez Louise. So now what are we going to do? We are going to echo. So let's let's just say.
Important option, don't leave it out. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And here, I'm going to put a plain text value that I want. So I'm just going to go with just username, whatever. Of course, you can have something more secretive here. And I'm going to base64 encode it. And the value that I get here, I'm going to copy it into.
Cool.
The way you can do that, the simplest way is go to your terminal. So here, I'm going to say echo -n, very important option, don't leave it out. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And here, I'm going to put a plain text value that I want. So I'm just going to go with just username, whatever. Of course, you can have something more secretive here. And I'm going to base64 encode it.
Okay, so like literally can't do a / in here. I have to be able to configure that because that doesn't seem the way. Doesn't seem like the way. So what I will do is echo. So echo, and then I'm going to echo my username. So Lilly, let's say Lilly, and I will base64 encode this. So base 64, and then I was just laughing because I can normally never find this symbol, but I found it pretty quickly, and hit enter. So I had a feeling this echo is a Mac thing. So let's check echo, Mac or Windows. Come on, echo. Echo speaker. Clearly not. Well, you never know. Can't be making. And sure, look, it's Google. Of course, it's going to be their first thing is Alexa and Echo. Echo terminal. I mean, it wasn't very specific. What is the echo command in the terminal? Mac? Yeah, okay. Is it a Mac thing? I think it's a Mac thing. How do I use echo in Microsoft? Echo. Okay. Echo on, echo off. Okay. So let's just say echo on and see if then we can echo. But it seems to be a problem with the base64. But anyway, I'm going to just start where I think this is coming from. So echo on. And now let's try that and just see. Okay, I'm going to copy this whole thing. And let's see what's going on. So I want to echo. Base64 is not recognized. That's enough information because you can overload echo, and I'll just take out the name and this part because just keep it to the minimal information that you need so you can get your answer, you know. So maybe it needs to be done in PowerShell. Okay. Look, I don't really understand either why. Well, obviously they're just different, but why, you know, your command prompt can't do some things, and then here we go. So I like the way he started it because that's how I feel too. You know, I was just thinking they probably think I'm an imposter. Don't let your thoughts get the better of you. You know, I don't even know if this is a Mac command or this is the level of experience I have and we're learning together. So, you know, it is what it is, and that's what it is. You only know things when you've gone through the motions, and then you can pin it down and you've learned it. So it takes time to learn things, and that's okay. There's loads of things I know, there's loads of things I don't know. Loads, you know, and just if you're learning, don't be hard on yourself. Okay, let's keep going. So he started it off with this might be a very simple question to ask, which I quite liked because yeah, I feel the same. I feel like I should know this, but I don't. So how to decode base64 text file in the command line, trying below statement to decode. Yeah, I'm getting an error. This is our exact error. Base64 is not recognized as an internal or an external command, operable program or batch file. So that's what we're seeing. Yeah, that's what we're seeing there. So the error is suggesting I do need to to install package library utility. Is it? Or is it? Oh yeah, well it does say, if you can see that there, is not recognized as an internal or external command, operable program or batch file. I didn't even know that that's what that meant. Like, you need to get an operable program or a batch file in order to recognize this, or else I don't know if he's picked that up wrong. So I actually won't put like all of my belief in that, but maybe that's what that means for next time, you know. The error is suggesting, so he thinks it is suggesting, or she, you know. Certainly no gender given with that name. It's just like letters and numbers, and it could be a girl or a boy. So anyway, you know, let's just, if you can access your bash prompt, your command will work. Oh, correct shell. Yeah, it's down to the shell. Oh, even just a normal git bash will work. Woohoo, I love git bash. So let's open up our git bash. I just love the colors, they're pretty. So we'll open up our folder here. So I'll show you what I'm doing. So I'm in my YouTube Kubernetes folder here. Here's my Mongo Kubernetes with Nana. This is the files. Excuse me. These are the files we've created. We have our deployment and our secret file in here. Excuse me. So if I open this with git bash, I've installed git bash, like, so you just need to install it. It won't be there as just as standard, you know. I think in my how to set up your development environment video, one of my first videos, I'm pretty sure I set up git bash in that video, along with a whole load of other stuff like Visual Studio Code, Node. We got an Angular project running, so I'm pretty sure git bash was in that, and if not, I should cover it, so let me know. So I'll zoom in here so you can see. This is why I love it, because I don't know how to zoom in on any of the other ones. Any of my other command prompts. So if I just go back up here, and now I can copy this, I think this is going to work now. So we've copied our command. Let's paste it. Echo n Lilly and make it base 64. Ooh. So there is our code. This is our base 64 code. Very hard to go backwards and figure out how that goes back, but very easy to go forwards. It's just a good way of encrypting. Like, it's impossible to break, just about. It's not impossible, but it's very hard to break. Much better than just, like, you know, having passwords like cat amen. I don't know, you know. So yes, it's way better. For passwords, you know, you won't break it, you won't crack it. Certainly not with brute force anyway. It takes long time to break 64-bit encoded password with brute force. So this is our username, I think. Cool. And yeah, because it was,
and the value that I get here, I'm going to copy it into the secret configuration as a value. And I'm going to do the same with password. So again, I'm just going to go with simple password. Obviously, you want to have something more secure. And
yeah, cool. So we will do the same there as well. We will make our password. So I'll do the same. So this time I want to encode password. Let's hit enter. Let's copy this. Let's paste it down below. Okay. And there we go. Cool. Very cool. Okay.
And I'm going to copy that as a value here and save it as mongo secret.yaml.
Cool.
Okay, now we have only written configuration files. We haven't created anything yet in the cluster. So this is just preparation work. And we have to create secret before the deployment if we're going to reference the secret inside of this. So the order of creation matters. Because if I'm creating a deployment that references a secret that doesn't exist yet, I'm going to get an error. So it's not going to start. Since we have our first component, let's actually go ahead and create our secret from a configuration.
Okay, so I just want to make note of where I have that wrong thing. So name, type should be back a level, right? So let's just see what happens with an error in a secret file when we go to create, because indentation does matter in YAML files. We will get an error, but will it tell us it's in our secret file? Because I know it does tell us if we're in our deployment file, because I made an error yesterday. So let's see.
File. So again, I'm going to go to my console. Let's actually clear all this, and I'm going to go into the folder where I'm creating all these configuration files. I called it Kubernetes configuration, and here I have both of my files. So I'm going to do kubectl apply mongo secret and secret created. So I'm going to do kubectl get secret, and I should see my secret has been created. This is something created by default with a different type, and this is our secret.
So forgot some
Secret name, so this one here. Obviously, all the syntax and attribute names. Important thing here is that you know approximately how to reference it. The actual syntax you can always look up in Google or maybe from previous configuration files. But yeah, this is how you reference it, and we're going to do the same with password. So I'm going to do from.
Okay, so oh, is this where we are?
File. So again, I'm going to go to my console. Let's actually clear all this, and I'm going to go into the folder where I'm creating all these configuration files. I called it Kubernetes configuration, and here I have both of my files. So I'm going to do kubectl apply mongo secret and secret created. So I'm going to do kubectl get secret, and I should see my secret has been created. This is something.
Okay, so yes, we were missing a flag, but you got a nice but I don't know. So I think the flag just comes after the word apply, to be honest. Which let me make sure that's the exact correct command, and then we'll try from a different terminal. But hey, I have it won't let me. So who knows? Let's just go. What are we on? We're on 125. So here we go.
So I'm going to do kubectl apply mongo secret.
Okay, so that is all we should do. Kubectl apply f. We need to give the file name, so this should be mongo secret.yaml, and maybe now we should be able to do this. So let's do dir just to make sure that's our file name. We will go cd. I just want this to auto complete for me, right? And then I'm going to change this to kubectl. Well, I could have just done it anyway to make it autocomplete. I didn't need to do the cd, but however. Okay, so let's copy this and see how we can get this to connect our request. We got a whole lot of windows in the house. Whole lot of windows in the house. There they are. Closing all the windows in the house. It's not even a house, but however. Well, I'm in my house. So, yes, no connection could be made. How to fix it. Tech Overflow. We've got Stack Overflow already has a question. C# though. Is this C? Are we coding in C? No, I don't think we are. So let's say set up Kubernetes. Apply secret. So we'll just cut this down a bit. This is too wordy. Secret unable to connect to the server. Yep, that's enough. And then target machine actively refused it. And we'll just say, we'll leave a space here, and then I will say Kubernetes setup. And let's see what happens now. Kubernetes on Windows, okay. Unable to connect to the server. Yes. No connection. Yes. Okay. What do we do? Ooh, look. In my case, I'm using Windows 10 with Docker for Windows Edge. Channel number, build number. Okay. Kubernetes error message. Unable to connect to the server. No connection could be made because target machine actively refused it. Yep. Thank you so much for taking your time. I appreciate it. So, just going to zoom in here. Well, you can see that pretty well. That's all good. Solution. Okay, so we just run this command. All right. Okay, so this article was first published on deploy containers. Let's go there because I cannot copy the commands and they're very, very small. So, oh, here we go. Look. So it's right here. Sometimes it's right in front of you. So to fix the problem, let's just try and run this. So this guy had the same problem as me, and by running this command, setting up his environment is what I think he's doing. He was able to, or she was able to, get this going. So let's just try this, okay? So we'll hit enter. Yeah, I don't really even know what that means. So let's go back. Here we go. SSL. Yes, that sounds about right. I'm seeing this error when running cube CTL get pods. Okay. It was working 2 weeks ago. Oh, it's my configuration, is it? Yes. Oh. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So yes, I just have actually not set something up properly here. So what I'm going to do is type these commands here because this might give me some insight. So I'll say minikube start. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. Okay, so it's still doing something right. I wasn't sure. Okay, great. So maybe like I just hadn't started up minikube or something. Cool. Okay. So let's see what happens now. And then let's stretch, and then we're going to check the cluster info because then I think if we run that we get our port. So to make sure that our port that is fed back matches our file, because that could be a problem. It's saying can't communicate with that port. Maybe I just have the same port that she had. Although this is the file I used yesterday because I copied it from the file yesterday and it worked yesterday. So similar issue to what this guy is having. I'm actually going to save this ticket because this is helpful. So yes, let's create a new folder. Choose another folder. We will close all this. Bookmarks bar, other bookmarks, new folder. Kubernetes. Bug fixes. You never know, You just never know. Save all these, links, don't you? And then you literally, I've never looked back at a link. That's a lie. Like I have looked back at them, but it's so rare that you actually look back at these links. So that's just running there. We'll give that a moment. Grand. Done, done, done. So now we'll do cube, CTL, cluster, info. So here is our IP address that we need. Oh, look, she has some stuff blocked out. Just her name. I do worry about these things. Like, look, she's her IP blocked out. Oh my God, should I not be sharing this? Holy guacamole. Holy guacamole. No, I just don't know, you know. Oy. Please, everybody, be kind. Don't go and bloody attack me. I shouldn't have said that out loud. So, I'm going to cover that up. So now let's make sure she had it in her file. Anyway, look, no point in worrying, but anyway, we'll just continue. So, down here now in my MongoDB configuration, we have our thing. Oh, and we don't even have we know that this is in the wrong place. So let's move that back first. Save. That could be the issue. I don't think it is, but let's try. So now I will try that again. Now let's try and apply the secret. Okay. So it didn't do it. So let's have a look at Nana's secret to make sure that we have done this correctly here. Okay. So we have this is not her secret file. This is another file. It's the deployment file. So let's okay.
The actual contents. So you have the data, and here you have key value pairs, which of course are the names you come up with. So we're gonna specify username, or we can actually call it Mongo root username.
She just has
and
a
we're gonna call it
setting for her
Mongo root
tabulation.
password. And here's the thing: the values in these key value pairs are not plain text. So when we are creating a secret,
Okay, so let's just see. That all looks the same to me. So I'll save that. And now I'll just go back to my terminal and see. And if not, I will. Okay, so no. Unknown field metadata. Oh, I have an extra T. Set it all along. Okay, now let's try. Ooh. So, oh my God, I'm going to comment on this ticket and say, spelling error will do this for you. A spelling error will literally give you this error. So, un momento, guys. This is muy importante. See? So, I'll just log in with GitHub here. I'm just going to... Guys, I want to log in. I've got my account. Let's just log in with Google and see. I'm sure I logged in with GitHub. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So I'm here. I want to go back to the question. So the question, I think, was this one. So yeah, this was it. So let me just add my answer. This can happen due to a spelling error. Okay, so where was my file? What did I have wrong? So we were correct that in fact, you know, in the .deployment file, errors for me were called out in the terminal. unlike the .secret file. This could be years old, but you know what? It doesn't matter because people still come to these all the time. Stack Overflow is like the Bible for coders. So, you know, get in there. Give your answer. It's important. We're all learning from each other. So in the deployment file, errors for me were called out in the terminal, unlike the secret when I made an error, unlike the secret.secret file. So here we go. Now I will add, no. I just want to add some code. Yeah. Is this my code? Is this all in a little code bracket? No. Code. Yeah, everything should be indented by 4. Like so. So, and this was, how did I have it? Let's go back. Okay. So type was indented. And this was metat data. Okay, cool. So then we will just go down and say type is incorrectly indented and data is spelt wrong. Once I fixed these, I was good to go. Good luck. I know we're supposed to keep like, oh, should I leave it out? I know we're not really allowed to say like, thank you, good luck. It's just part of who I am. I find it so hard to just be like, here's your answer. No thanks. You know, I said thank you before on Stack Overflow and they're like, take all of this fluff out. You're such a fluffer. And I was like, but I love saying thanks. So anyway, that's sort of irrelevant. So we will, here's our corrected file. Yeah. And this is going to be type. So now we will just go back. I just want to do this. CTRL and Z. No, Y. I want to go back to the end and just do it safe like that. And actually, I'll just copy this because I know this is correct. So paste. And now let's do the old indentation, flavoration. Cool. Perfect. So there we go. The type. So let's put type in into some of these just so they know what I'm talking about in the house. I'll say type and actually make this bold. Quotes make more sense, don't they? Because I'm quoting the type field. So let's do that and just do this. So it's very, very clear what I'm talking about. And metadata, yeah, cool. So, okay. Let me just edit this slightly. We're called out in the terminal down here in the .secret file. They were not. Might be a bit more clear. Comma. They were not. Okay, perfect. Yep. In the .secret file they were not. Yep, they weren't called out properly. And then edit, brief summary of your changes, spelling mistakes and indentation fix. Spelling and indentation fix. Save. Cool. There we go. Done and dusted. So we have our answer for other people if they come along and they want to sing a song. Go ahead. So, yeah, we're going to leave it there, guys. We've managed to make, I should say, our secret file, which is fantabuloso. We're making progress. It was a very small, simple error. But, you know, until you figure this stuff out. So, and there's me trying to test an error in my secret file, test an error. Imagine if I wasn't aware that I put that error in there in the first place. And you're comparing, you can't see any difference. But, you know, try and think back logically, take a break. What do we know? We know how sensitive YAML files are for indentation. That's one thing we've been told. So that's a given. So I would, the first point of call, I only found that because I put it in. So then I thought, oh crap, actually I put in an error. But bring it back down. What are the facts that we know before we move forward here? First of all, YAML files are extremely sensitive to indentation. It won't work. So, you go line by line, fine tooth comb, and you make sure, is that correct? Is that correct? Is that correct? Is that correct? Because then once you've checked that once and correctly, you can go, I'm certain that's not it. Move on. What's the next thing this could be? Then maybe we go to Stack Overflow, because there's me roaming around Stack Overflow. This isn't relevant, So saved a bookmark and everything, which, why isn't it there anymore? Like, this should be a bookmark page. But you know yourself, guys. So take it handy, take it slow, figure out what you know and move forward. So thanks so much for joining me, Lilly Code, on another episode of 100 Days of Code. Hope you liked today's episode, all the waffle and the rest of it, and I just really hope that you have a fantastic day and enjoy yourself. And thanks so much for joining me. So peace, guys. Bye.